Well, hello and welcome to the official press conference for the Steel City Showdown here in Newcastle. A massive night of boxing coming up on Main Event Television. It'll take place this Wednesday night. You can see the broadcast from 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time with 3 fights on the prelims. Then we'll go to Main Event pay-per-view. 5 fights in total, of course. It all culminates in Tszyu up against Dennis Hogan. Ben Damon is my name. Really looking forward to calling these fights on Wednesday night. Another massive night of boxing, and what a big period we have coming up in Australian boxing as well, as some of our main event fighters do join us. We're going to have a chat with all of those who are here, including some of the undercard fighters. But we will start, of course, with the promotion from No Limit Boxing Promotions. George Rose is joining me up the front here. George, really exciting to be here in Newcastle. Tszyu had such a great affinity with this part of the world, but are you surprised just how big an event this has become?
Look, the buzz has been amazing. We had a great response when tickets went on sale. Really excited about being up here in Newcastle for our first event for 2021. And it is really building into a big fight. We've got a great card. I think the quality of the card is something that everyone's really excited about here in Newcastle. There's a lot of good fights. But that's what we like bringing. We like bringing the best fights. Our undercard is amazing. There's some really good matchups and a great opportunity for a lot of fighters to really impress on this card and really put on a great show. I'm excited about it, and I think it's a really good matchup for our main event.
What are you most looking forward to on this undercard, George? Some outstanding fights, as you mentioned. We've got former world champions Sam Solomon and Sacchio Uchida. We've got Tyson Nam coming off his huge upset against Paul Fleming, and plenty of other great fights. What are you most excited about?
Look, I am genuinely excited about all of them. I think what Tyson Nam did at the Sydney Super Fight was fantastic, and he's earned another shot here against a really tough opponent in Paul Fleming, who had the famous walkout at the Sydney Super Fight, and that went viral. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings this time around. Also, Wade Ryan and Cohen Ryan, I think that's some really good boxers. I love following, and I think there's some solid fights. I'm excited to see Lynn back in the ring. I think that she's going to really impress. Great crossover sports superstar, and I think it's a great opportunity. And as you said, Sam Solomon and Sacchio Uchida, 2 superstars of Australian boxing in the ring against each other. And, we're very lucky to have that fight. So undercard is stacked. Undercard is absolutely stacked. And that's before we get to the main event.
I'll just ask you about that main event. Very nearly we didn't get to this point. Dennis Hogan suffered a broken nose in training early on in his preparation. You must have been a bit nervous as a promoter at that point.
Look, I was very nervous. I think we just had the launch and everything was going great, and then it looked like it wasn't going to make it. But I don't know, there was a bit of chat around whether that was, what was going on up there in Brisbane. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but we've got the fight on. We're ready to roll.
What happens in this main event, do you think, George?
Look, I think what you're going to see is 2 world-rated fighters here in Australia going to put on a great show. I think it's a great fight for Tszyu, a great fight for Dennis Hogan. Dennis has only lost to world champions, so it's a great tester for Tim to see where he's at. If he can beat Dennis Hogan, then he's on that world-rated stage.
That is George Rose from No Limit Boxing Promotions, of course, behind all this that is going on Wednesday night at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Still some tickets available via Ticketek, or of course you can book the event via mainevent.com.au, and you can book either through Foxtel or KO for this event as well. We'll talk to some of the undercard fighters who are sitting down the front. We'll start firstly a part of the prelims from 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, having her second professional fight. Lynn Sandstrom is here. Lynn, if you just grab that microphone, you must be very excited to be a part of another big show like this.
Yes, super excited to be here again. I mean, I worked really hard, so just to get another opportunity is awesome.
You've had some really good media coverage in the build-up to this fight as well. It seems that people are really excited to see you go again.
Yeah, I mean, women's boxing is really growing at the moment, so I'm just happy to be a part of it all and to be here.
First fight didn't go your way. What happens this time around?
I've been working super hard this time around. I mean, not only with my boxing, but also with my mindset, so you will see a different fighter in there for sure.
Have a chat with some of the others down the front there, just trying to work out who we've got. Tyson Lantry's up the end. Tyson, you're back very close to home, coming off that huge upset that you caused in Sydney in December. How are you feeling this time around?
I feel great, man. It's, prep's been amazing for me. I've been able to live in Canberra beside my coach full time. training as a professional athlete full time. So life certainly changed a lot for me in the past 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been amazing. And I look forward to bringing the best me come fight night.
Nice and close to home this time around for you as well. A Maitland boy just fighting down the road here in Newcastle.
Yeah, local kid, Hunter Valley boy. So look forward to having the support from everyone here in our hometown, and being on such a great event is amazing. Being so close to home.
Just checking with Wade Ryan. Is it down the front there, Wade? Big show for you to be a part of again, and tough fight you're in.
Yeah, mate. I'm honoured to be on this card. Such a big fight night coming up Wednesday night, and yeah, we've got a good fight ahead of us. Yeah, everyone's looking forward to it. She's going to be a good fight, I think. Yeah. You
always bring an entertaining fight. Must be excited to be back on main event and as the co-main on this show. Yeah, mate. It's a big card to be on and to be main event. You know what I mean? Like, we're looking to bring a good fight, and we've got a good opponent, and yeah, to be on an undercard of Tim Tszyu, yeah, huge, mate. Yeah. Yep. You mentioned your opponent. You could pass the microphone to him. He's sitting alongside you, Cohen Ryan. Is that all right, sitting next to your opponent, Cohen? You don't mind?
Yeah, mate. We're all friendly here, and people ask me what that's like with opponents, but it's just person to person. Wade seems like a good enough bloke to me, so we'll punch each other's heads in the night. Maybe share a beer after.
Paul Fleming's just joined us here as well, but Cohen, what happens in this fight? We've all seen a lot of Wade Ryan. We haven't seen as much of you on televised shows as yet, but this is your chance. What happens in this fight?
Yeah, look, I haven't had the exposure yet, and I need to say a big thank you to Dreamtime Fighters and No Limit for putting me on this show. It's a big opportunity, and I appreciate that opportunity. I'm here to showcase my skills. I've been had a long amateur career. I feel like 9 fights into my pro career, I've learned a lot. Wade's obviously had about 20, 25, 27, something like that fight, so obviously he's got the experience, but I'm here to show my superior boxing skill. I know Wade's a tough customer. He's fought some of the best guys in Australia, but I want him to leave the ring thinking that's the best fight I've been in the ring with. Yeah, that'll be Cohen Ryan up against Wade Ryan, our co-main on this show. Paul Fleming just joined us. Paul, your opponent Tyson Nam might give you the microphone. You should have heard what he just said about you before you arrived.
Hopefully good things.
It's very complimentary. Another big show for you. We saw you at the Sydney Super Fight, and things didn't go according to plan that night with a cut. But what happens in this fight against Tyson Nam?
Look, yeah, and that was a I think he's the boogeyman at super featherweight. No one really wanted to fight him, and I think it was a big statement for us to take that fight after 2 years off. And the fight was even, and there was not much in it, and we're looking for the rematch. Me and Dreamtime Fighters. Firstly, a big shout out to Dreamtime Fighters. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. And No Limits. Look, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I'm a changed man. Like this, coming with this team now, I've taken on another a level. I've ran nearly 200 Ks for this fight. I've sparred over 100 rounds for this fight. I've been training so hard for this fight. My weight's been perfect. I'm not drained. I'm not dehydrated. I'm eating. I'm drinking, and I'm only 1.5 kilos off weight. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. And I hope Tyson's put in the work and put in the effort, because he's going to get an animal. He's going to get an animal. The best Flammo that's ever been in the ring is going to show up on Wednesday night.
Did you watch, you will have gone back and had a look at it, but Tyson Lantry against Luke Jackson, the upset of the year in Australian boxing last year. What did you make of Tyson's performance?
That's why we wanted the fight, because of the effort, because of how well he did in that fight. He really, coming off 2 losses, and then turning it around and taking that fight and, putting on a show that he did. He fought out of his skin that night, and we're like, you know yourself, it's hard to get guys in and out of the country at the moment now, and, after that performance and coming off the back of that, we knew he'd be fit. He's not going to go away, and he's not going to, have a big Christmas. We were ready. We knew he'd be ready, and look, we're excited. He put on a great performance, and that's the reason we put our hand up and asked him whether he wanted. And me and Tyson have been talking for years, man. Me and him have a good relationship. I even messaged him during camp and said, hey, brother, hope camp's going good. Hope you get through camp injury-free and hope you come in 120%. Because that's all I wish. I wish my opponents the best. You know, I wish their families the best. And, you know, he's a family man like me. So, you know, I wish him and his family the best. But, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not going to snatch his soul on Wednesday. And that's what I'm there to do. And, you know, afterwards we can have a burger together and shake hands and have a cuddle, and then that'll be it. But on the Wednesday, it's all business. It's showtime.
It's showtime. Thank you very much. That's Paul Fleming. He fights Tyson Lantry as part of this undercard on Wednesday night, and we might put our hands together for a couple of boxing legends who are joining us here as well, a couple of former world champions in Sam Solomon and Sacchio Uchida, ladies and gentlemen. The former IBF middleweight champion of the world, Sam Solomon. Sam, welcome to Newcastle. Fantastic to have you here. You've gone around twice with Sacchio Uchida. Been a while since the last time, though. What are you expecting of this version of Sacchio on Wednesday night?
Yeah, we've switched hands 20 rounds of punching on. It's been a lot of fun, actually, because the first time we did it for an IBF championship fight at middleweight, and I came in with the chocolates, and then Sacchio fought him in the Contender Series, and we had some fun up there. It's like similar to Big Brother house, living in a house for 6 weeks together. So I've got to know him really well, and lovely guy, him and his young lady, and everything was great. We went to war for another 8 rounds, so we've done 20 rounds of fighting, and he's won one, I've won one, and it's a trilogy. Feels like the Sugar Ray Leonard Duran trilogy, but the Aussie version.
It's been a little while since the two of you did fight. What are your memories of that fight as part of the Contender Series in the US? A massive fight for the pair of you.
Yeah, like I said, it was really good having the opportunity to work with some legends of the sport that we grew up with, Sugar Ray Leonard and Oscar De La Hoya and guys like that. When we teamed up on the show, I say we teamed up because there was, this sounds like a bit of a joke when you say it. There's 13 Americans, 1 Englishman and 2 Aussies. And the 2 Aussies got in the finals and 1 American got in the finals. He got the gold, I got the bronze. The silver medalist was Jaydan Cotterton, very good fighter, Jaydan. So it was a big win for Sacchio to represent Australia and bring home the win. And I fought for the bronze medal against Wayne Johnson from America as well, and we won that fight. So it was really good. We've shared a bit of. We represented our country, both of us, in our own ways, and it's been great. And I've got a future ahead of me after boxing with my fighters. I've got Kayla Savvy. Kayla Savvy's a flyweight, and she's in my eyes the next Olympian. She's something special, and I'm looking forward to her showcasing her abilities. She's 49 kilos and hits like a tank. So look out for a girl named Kayla Savvy, and her trainer Grant Jones is my trainer too, and he's another one that's going to be a world champion very soon. So look out for those 2 names, Kayla Savvy and Grant Jones.
We will do, Sam. A sense of destiny about this fight. What did you think the first time when you got a call about fighting Sacchio Uchida? The pair of you had just had fights fall over. What did you think when that name came up again?
Inevitable. It was like well due. Like we've talked about it, and I'd like to congratulate the promotion here because to get this fight together because. It's been talked about a few times and never came through because, again, he's a natural super middleweight and I'm a natural middleweight. And when I fought him at middle, he had to come down. So it was tough for him. And then I fought him at super middle, I had to go up. So it's tough for me. So to me, at catch weight, got my full respect, Sacchio Uchida, for doing that and coming at catch weight. So that may the best man win come fight night. We're looking forward to it.
That's a former world champion in Sam Solomon. 2 spaces to his right is the former WBC super middleweight champion of the world, Sacchio Uchida. If you could pass the microphone down to him, please, Lynn or Sam. Sacchio, exciting for you to be back on a big show like this and in your new hometown of Newcastle as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy to be in for the big show, for Team Tszyu and the card again. Moving from Sydney to Newcastle now. Just really happy to be in Newcastle. I'm just really looking forward to put again the best performance on Wednesday night.
You've fought Sam twice before. What are your memories of those two fights?
Well, the first fight, I always say, was very
You think you got robbed?
uncomfortable again, and Sam won. It was very tough fight, and then I know I have to say maybe I won the fight. Sam won because in the paper I feel I say Sam won the fight, and the second one I have the chance to win the contender to prove say I'm the better fight, and now we fight for the third one and to see exactly who will become the better one.
Who will win this fight, Sacchio?
I'm always positive so we win it. Though I can't, I'm not moving to Newcastle to lose this fight because again this is it's like for my hometown Newcastle. To me to win this fight on Wednesday night, just get more fans from Newcastle to support me.
How exciting to have Sam Solomon and Sacchio Uchida fighting this Wednesday night as part of this undercard. We move now to the main event and up here at the top table. First of all, to the management of Dennis Hogan, Danny Demas, welcome to Newcastle. How do you feel things are progressing towards this fight?
On our camp, it's progressing. It couldn't be more perfect, but a bit annoyed with the other crew though. We're at the back just looking at contracts, and it's like, all right. They're obviously a bit scared of, Tim losing because even in the contract, they'll ask for a rematch. Like, why would you ask for a rematch unless you think you're going to lose? But we're well prepared. Dennis couldn't be more mentally prepared. Dennis at 80% will beat Tim on Wednesday night.
A little bit of a query as to whether the broken nose was a real story from George Rose a little bit earlier on.
Well, find out Wednesday night.
What do you think happens in this fight, Danny? You've watched Dennis as much as anyone, and you've no doubt seen the journey of Tim Tszyu, but I get the sense you feel there's a bit of a class difference.
Oh, mate, two different classes completely. Like, he's no Charlo over there, you know what I mean? And Dennis has fought people twice as good as Tim. So for us, it's, like we said, it's a tune-up fight for the next big thing for us. If you're a betting person, I'll be betting on Dennis, go to PointsBet, get on there. Right, make a punt, right? You'll make some easy money this Wednesday night.
Personally, I'd probably use SportsBet. It's the best betting agency in Australia, so jump on board with SportsBet.
PointsBet's Australian Dane.
You've mentioned it is a stepping stone fight, this. What is next for Dennis Hogan when he wins this?
Oh, look, it's probably back in the US. We can't tell yet. Let's just focus on Wednesday and go from there, but he'll be back in the world stage for a world title fight.
Thank you, Danny Demas from DDP. Down the other end to Glenn Jennings, the manager of Tim Tszyu. You going to get involved in any of this?
Look, we're sort of used to it. Timmy's going into his 18th fight. Every single person that gets up on this stage for a press conference says the same thing. They always mention different levels. They always mention Tim's not up to it. They always mention they're in the best shape of their life. They always get beat.
Yeah, but not with a real opponent.
What's that?
Not with a real opponent. Come on. Who's Tim fought?
Well, he fought world champion Jeff Horn, and Jeff Horn is above Dennis Hogan in terms of that category.
Only on points, mate.
Yeah, but you can't deny that. Timmy beat a world champion. Dennis didn't, twice.
Yep.
Thank you. Look, Team Tszyu too, we don't get involved in that nonsense. End of the day, the bell will ring, there'll be two good boys in the ring, someone's going to raise their hand and it'll be Tim Tszyu.
You're a local, Glenn, here in Newcastle. Are you surprised just how big this event has become?
Oh, proud Novocastrian and super proud to bring this home to Newcastle. And having had that run with Kostya of 7 fights at the Entertainment Centre, I know what's in plan for Wednesday night. So it's something that Tim will always remember. There is no other crowd like a Newcastle sports crowd, and that's been proven. It's all but a sellout again. So, yeah, super excited, Benny, to bring this one home, mate.
Tim's become a big deal here. The queue yesterday for autographs and photos was enormous. Has it all happened a bit quicker than what you expected with Tim?
Oh, look, we've seen it. It's never been a race for us to bring Timmy along. We've been very strategic about it and stuck to our plans, and he just keeps winning. And while Tim keeps winning, the popularity keeps on rising. And the beautiful part of Newcastle is we got to re-engage with so many Kostya fans, and the Tszyu family name here is like, it's a legacy. Everyone knows the zoo. And Tim walking down the street for breakfast this morning, you know, we need an extra 30 minutes everywhere we go because everyone wants to stop for a photo.
Is that why you were late?
Sorry about that. We do apologise for our tardiness. Matty Rose was quite cross with me. But I would like to say, Ben, in passing too, that when you've got the best promotion company in the world working behind you, as No Limits are, Matty, we're very grateful for everything they do for us. And you've only got to look at the quality of these events, and Newcastle will be another one. Last year, 2 sold-out stadium shows. Timmy was the only fighter in the world to have 2 sold-out stadium shows, and Wednesday night's another sellout, 3 in a row. The numbers speak for themselves, mate. Tim Tszyu's the real deal. There is no hype train. It's real. It's only hype if it's not real. This young bloke next to me is real, and they're going to find out Wednesday night just how real he is.
Okay, that takes us to our main event fighters. Introducing firstly over to my left, former 2-time world title challenger, the Irish Aussie, the Hurricane, Dennis Hogan. Dennis, welcome to Newcastle. How are you feeling? You're only a couple of sleeps away from what is a massive opportunity for you here in Australia.
Look, I'm delighted to be here, back to Newcastle again. I got a great vibe here the last time, and I'm getting it here again. And even better, it's fight week too. So yeah, just great to be back, and thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone involved for making this opportunity possible.
Your manager, promoter, Danny Demas, says he's pretty annoyed with how things are going down between the two parties. Do you have any concerns? Are you unhappy with anything that's happened?
Look, I'm focused, absolutely focused. I had heard second-hand that, you know, there was questions about whether it was my nose was hurt, or whether, you know, we were looking for more time for my coach to come over. But I'll just tell you right now, I had a bit of an issue with my nose, and we were told if you can not spar for 4 weeks, it would be good. But we were told we wouldn't get an extra time to go with it. We sparred anyway, and it's pulled up, so it's fully healed now. It's good to go. You'll see it's a bit more wonky if anyone wants to question our integrity. But other than that, all good to go. I'm focused. I'm ready for a good win.
A lot of talk about betting companies at this press conference. Are you surprised just how big a betting outsider you are for this fight?
Yeah, look, I am. It doesn't resonate with me at all. But again, you know, if you look on BoxRec, which seems to be the main way to go, to look at that, you know, he's got more points, and I'm coming off losses from World Championships, and he's on a run of success, so he's going to be ranked above me, and that's going to go better with the betting agencies. But again, like I said, you know, WBC have put me back in the super welterweight rankings, and I dropped in ahead of Tim. So what way do you want to look at that? Which is a better way to go?
Your camp are describing this as a warm-up fight, a stepping stone. Is that the way that you see it?
Oh, look, on fight night, every fight for me is a world title fight. Mentality-wise, I'm going in there to do exactly everything I can to get a great win, and then after that we look at everything else. But for right now, that's just my target, and I'm going to go out and get a good win. What
does a victory like this mean for you? You've had some big fights internationally, and obviously some major wins elsewhere, but here in Australia, this would be a really, really massive thing for you to beat Tim Tszyu on main event television.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's huge here in Australia. Like, it's massive, and in terms of promotion and stuff, it's just been huge, and it would just add to it now to get a win to that as well. But again, like I said, for every fight for me is a world championship fight. So, yep.
What's your prediction, Dennis? How does it finish?
Look, a great win. I really do think I can hurt him, and if the opportunity arises itself, I'll go for it. But I want to make sure I'm winning every round very, very well. That if it goes to the end, I'll be getting the decision.
That's Dennis Hogan. His opponent in the main event this Wednesday night is an undefeated boxer, 17-0 with 13 stoppage victories. He's world ranked across the board. Tim Tszyu. Tim, welcome. Newcastle have really embraced you over the last week or so since you've been here.
Yeah, it feels like home here. Thank you to all the Newcastle fans. The support's been unreal. Feels like home again. I'm sure we're going to have a big crowd, and it's going to be full of Team Tszyu fans.
A lot of back and forth we've heard today, some queries over whether the nose injury was real, some other talk about contracts and betting companies and the like. Anything you want to involve yourself in?
Oh, that's all managers. I'm a fighter. I really couldn't care less about all that stuff. I've never heard it. I've never thought about it or ever thought about any of this. So contracts and broken noses, look, I couldn't care less. Just get me in the ring Wednesday night, and then that's where I show.
How do you like being described as a warm-up fight?
You tell me. What do you reckon?
I don't know. What do you reckon?
I don't think it's going to be a warm-up fight. It's going to be a tough fight. Look,
without getting paid for warm-up
I
fights?
don't make fights easy. When I get in the ring, I'm not there to tip and tap and run around and jab and throw a few overhands. I'm here to hurt my opponents, and it's not going to be no warm-up fight, that's for sure.
Does Dennis Hogan have the power to hurt you, do you think?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Look, I'm expecting the best Dennis Hogan. He's a great fighter. I've got no disrespect for him. My full respect to him. He trains like a fighter. He does his full time. Tries to feed his family. And I've got all respect for that. But look, when you get in the ring, this is my ring. You're in my world, and I'm not going to let anyone out.
You've been talking over the last week about wanting to make a statement in this fight, to have an explosive finish to the fight. Is that the ambition, to knock out Dennis Hogan and to blast yourself into the consciousness of the boxing world?
Yeah, of course. Look, in boxing, I'm not here to tip and tap. I'm here to do damage. And with my fights and with my experience recently, I feel like I'm on the rise, and I feel like I'm a different fighter from where I was 2 or 3 years ago. I've been sparring big boys. I've always been sparring big boys. Matteo Tapia, Tim Hannon, Robert Whittaker, Joel Camilleri. These boys, they're bringing the best out of me. I'm able to compete with their strength, and they're much bigger than me. And look, someone coming down to junior middleweight in my weight division, trust me, it's not going to end well.
What's your prediction, Tim? How does it finish Wednesday night?
It doesn't end. It doesn't end until the 12th round. It's gonna be finished. It's gonna be stopped. 100% certain.
That is Tim Tszyu. He takes on Dennis Hogan in our main event. Now there'll be some picture opportunities, but we will get the 2 main event fighters to face off up in the middle here before we do finish up. Tim, Dennis. So the details again, this Wednesday night, coverage from 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time for 3 prelim fights. Then we go over to main event pay-per-view, culminating, of course, in Tim Tszyu up against Dennis Hogan. You can book it now via mainevent.com.au, via Foxtel or KO. Tickets still available via Ticketek. That's this Wednesday night, the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.